All right, guys, for those who are just now joining, we are looking at the election results tonight. We have a special election that we're going to be covering tonight, but we are also going to be studying some of the results that are going to be coming in through some local elections. Is going to be a little bit different than uh, 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 Real American. He's Real American. I think maybe even Red Eagle might be streaming right now. But I am joined at least right now by Election Watch Analysis. Election Watch, if you could actually introduce yourself.
Hello. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Am I putting on a map? Yes, I am. Let's go ahead and switch this map over. Sorry, it's I ran a little bit over with that DC perspective live stream. And now I'm just trying to get my bearings right now and make sure that we're all good to go. I always set up these live streams way beforehand, but I've just been running around today, and today has just been very busy for me. So we got a lot of these elections that we're going to be looking at. I am going to open this. So if you guys are looking at this right now, we have, I don't care about you, ad, get away. We're going to be watching the Fort Worth mayoral election. Fort Worth is having an election with 12 people on the ballot tonight. And we are going to be watching over that, but mainly we're going to be watching this special election, and we should be getting votes within the next couple of minutes. One of the biggest things that I really want to watch for is that I want to watch this area right here. This is very likely going to be what makes this go into a runoff election. So this area right here is southern Tarrant County, southwestern or southeastern Tarrant County. Tarrant County is home to Fort Worth. So Fort Worth is around right here. The thing about this is that one of the things that we're hearing about this election is that um, this election is basically going to test how strong that the Republican Party can be in this election and then in future elections, especially within the DFW area. One of the biggest things about the DFW area is that whenever the DFW area starts trending toward the Democrats, we're Republicans are basically in trouble, because whenever the DFW area starts trending that way, that's why I'm looking at a lot of local elections, because there's a couple of cities that are in this area that have progressives running for them. In Fort Worth, and for my city, and for a lot of these areas, I have already voted. And I think there was someone in chat that was actually saying that they live within this district. Beach Day, actually. I live in Texas 6th District, but I cannot vote. I'm too young. Well, you need to get old enough to vote. Go ahead and try to formulate a ballot or something. I'm just kidding. Please do not do that. But we're going to be watching, and we should be able to see some results trickling in around the same time. So with Texas 6, we're talking about southern DFW, about the biggest city that is within this area in Tarrant County is Arlington. The city of Arlington is a part of the Dallas Fort Worth Arlington Metroplex. And this area, Tarrant County voted blue in 2018 and in 2020, both by very close margins. So if the Democrats can basically, if any Democrat, whoever, I mean, we got 23 people running in this election right now. If any Democrat can kind of get a very substantial amount of votes within southwestern Tarrant County, um, and then force this into a runoff, because we basically are expecting a runoff, and we do see that we're getting some results now. 5,000 votes for this is Jana Lynn Sanchez, 16%
Oh,
of the vote. So yeah, we are very likely looking at a runoff by the end of this. How how are the independents doing? So the Libertarian, so there's two, so there's an independent 165 votes, and the Libertarian gets 67 votes. But you have Susan Wright, who is the wife of Ron Wright, who unfortunately died after the election back in 2020. I'm also seeing some local elections coming in. So are we seeing any votes coming in for Fort Worth? We are not.
Yeah, Fort Worth definitely the area to watch, especially just the entire area of Tarrant County. Looks like that's where all the votes are coming from now.
Yeah, most of the votes are
So
see.
far.
So that's what I'm expecting is that southwestern Tarrant County is very, very likely because we're talking about Arlington. Arlington is white suburban Dallas Fort Worth. It's right smack in the middle between Dallas and Fort Worth, around where that area is. I think that even encompasses like Cowboy Stadium. We're talking about the Rangers ballpark, Six Flags over Texas. There's a lot of commerce, there's a lot of industry, but there's also a lot of white suburban voters within this area. And I actually have family that I believe may live in within this district. And I went to that area right before the um I went to that area like right before the uh 2020 election, and boy, I was like, "Oh wow, Biden's going to pull ahead."
Interesting is that in 2020, in the House race for this specifically, before Ron Wright died, was that his opponent actually carried the area of Tarrant that is encompassed in this district by about 5%, which is pretty surprising, meaning that Ron Wright actually underperformed Trump, at least in that area.
He actually did outperform it by how much?
Yeah, so if I'm going to pull up the currently what the results were back then, about now. So it appears is that Ron Wright outperformed Donald Trump in the rural areas, which I find really interesting.
Okay.
But he actually did not do as well. If you compare just the part of Tarrant that is in the district to all of Tarrant, the um the Democrat actually outperformed Joe Biden there. He got about 50% of the vote, I want to say. Just looking at it right now.
So let me actually look to see what cities, because the fun part about this is that I mean this is basically like my like I wouldn't necessarily call myself an expert on this, but these are areas that I am very familiar with. So
And
yeah, so we're talking about Tarrant. I already talked about Tarrant. We're gonna go ahead and go a little bit south. So this is Ellis County. Ellis County is home to Waxahachie, and it's also home to Ennis, Italy, and Midlothian, Texas. These are very small towns, traditionally conservative, traditionally Republican. It's also like barely encompassing Alvarado, Texas, which is in Johnson County. Which Johnson County is like right here. Anyway, so this Ellis County is, I believe, Waxahachie has to be the county seat of Ellis County. And then we actually go down to Navarro County, and this is home to Corsicana. Very much, I mean, again, we're talking about traditionally conservative, traditionally Republican. Let me actually pull up the 2020 near results for Texas. Let me actually see where these areas went. So Ellis County actually went for Trump by 66.3 to 32.2, by about, what is that, 34 points. Look, yeah, 34. I think that's for 34 points. I can't do math. And then Navarro County, boy, wow. He actually did
72.
72.2 to 26.7 in Navarro County. Again, that's Corsicana. And then Tarrant County, and I believe I think I need to look at a more of an in-depth analysis of it. I need to look at some of the precincts in Tarrant County, because I'm pretty much certain, and actually I think I remember seeing something about this on the precinct map. Who joined? Gen Z. Hi Gen
Sorry, I'm
Z.
late.
So okay, so we're being joined by Gomez Media, and we're also being joined by Gen Z Patriot. So guys, welcome to the live stream. I am live.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry I'm late.
Got a
I
good group
messed
here.
up. Alright.
Maybe a little too loud for that, so I am adjusting the volume. Looks like we're getting some more results. Jake Ellizzi seems to have gotten 3,000 votes in Ellis County.
Oh, huh. Do you think there's a possibility that it could be Suzanne Wright versus Jake Elzy in the runoff? There's
That
some
would be an
internal
interesting one.
Democrats were actually worrying about that possibility.
Which, one of the biggest things about it is that there's a guy running in Texas 6th that's who is it? Let me find his name real quick. Let me see how many votes this guy's gotten actually. So there's a guy, Michael Wood. Wow, he is underperforming right now. So Michael Wood was actually the anti-Trumper that was joining in on this election.
Okay.
And he was
The Liz
campaigning pretty
Cheney endorsed
hard.
one.
Huh?
Is he the one endorsed by Liz Cheney? I think there's
Maybe.
someone.
Wait, what's the vote right now? Who's winning?
We have 15%, 15%. So Jake Ellizzi actually is pulling ahead of Susan Wright right now. So he's ahead of her by about 200 votes. Looks like Susan Wright. So Susan Wright is actually performing number 3 in Ellis County, but number 2 in Tarrant County. So Tarrant County is basically going to be carrying a lot of the vote for Susan Wright, at least from what we can assume for right now. Navarro County is not reporting anything as of yet. Let me go ahead and check on the Fort Worth mayoral election. I also have a lot of local elections that seem to be coming in. Let me see if I can look at those again. So let me see what my mayoral election is looking like. There's also a lot of props that are
So
being reported.
there's just one representative running, right?
There's a are you talking about the amount of people that are running?
No, I'm just saying there's just one representative race, right?
Yeah. There's only one federal race that's happening right now. That's the Texas 6th.
Yeah.
So the Republican in the ranked third Republican in this currently, Brian Harrison, who has 12% of the vote, is actually also a very pro-Trump candidate, and he's getting most of his votes, it appears, from Ellis County, where he's second to Jake Ellzey. I was looking at him, and his website just says "Always America First." So it looks like definitely the rural areas going to be going towards the pro-Trump candidates, while Tarrant County is going to be the, I guess, district that's going to swing more. But again, that's where the suburbs are. So that's, I guess, what we're looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm looking back. So I'm gonna keep it on that real quick. I'm trying to find some election results for Fort Worth, because Fort Worth again has like 12 people running on the ballot, and there's several progressives, and it really depends on what the progressives can do in these elections, especially locally, because I mean with what happened last year, I mean that's absolutely is a telltale sign. So my local election, the progressive is actually 500 votes behind. It's like a four-way race in my city.
You live in Texas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't live too far from where this federal election is taking place.
Who did you vote in the mayor election?
Absolutely, yeah. I went to go vote.
Who did
I
you vote for?
it wasn't the progressive.
Okay.
I'm trying to. Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Apparently, okay. So let me try this. I'm just gonna have to go the old-fashioned way and just go through the county itself. That's one of the fun things about these local elections, and usually they never like to give you the election. Some people like, I mean, they're only concentrating on, these elections right here. They're not really looking at the local.
What time do the polls close for the federal election?
They closed at 7 o'clock. In Texas,
Okay.
whenever it comes to elections, polls always close at 7. So, I mean, I'm going off of my own local time, so I already knew when the polls were going to close.
Yeah.
Let's try this.
Yeah.
Wait. Aha, I got it. Except I'm only looking at a cumulative report.
How much is in right now? In for the federal?
For the federal, we have about 43,000 votes in for that election.
Oh, okay.
So I guess we're only going to be looking at
Can you send the link in the chat to the site you're on?
to what?
Can you send the link in the chat to the site you're on right now? In the YouTube chat?
This is the New York Times. All you have to do is type in NYT
Alright. Hang on then.
6th, Texas 6th or something.
Okay.
So you mentioned propositions on the ballot in the local areas. What are some of the more interesting ones of those?
One of the ones is talking about annexation of a certain area. Couple other ones. I mean, there's one city, Lake Dallas in Denton County, that has like 25 propositions on the ballot, which was interesting, and I'm kind of glad I don't live in that area. Um, Damn, the NBC is just not wanting to update their information, do they?
It's looking like what is it? Ron Wright is gonna win for sure.
Talking about Susan Wright?
I don't know. I might be on the wrong thing.
Susan Wright is the wife of Ron Wright, who died.
Check the
Oh.
chat. I think I sent the special election results in there.
I think the aunt did.
Yeah.
I think I blocked links.
There you go.
I blocked links just by random people if they're not a mod. I may have to change that.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, aunt corrected me. The widow of Ron Wright is Susan Wright.
Holy crap! There's a lot of people running.
Yeah, there's like 23 people running in this election, my guy.
Why is there so many?
Majority of the media
Making me sign it up
There
or
are
something.
or that have cleared 10%, and one's almost at 10%. Really a clear front runner so far.
Why are they splitting the vote so much?
Because it's a jungle primary. That's what happens whenever there's a jungle primary. Because we're talking about, looking at Jake Ellizzi.
Yeah.
There was only a couple of people that I really knew about. So Jake Ellizzi is a representative of the Texas House of Representatives. He took office in January of 2021. His current term ends in 2023. He is on the ballot for the 6th congressional district. And he's a former naval officer and fighter pilot, served as a social aide in the George Bush White House, and a member of the Texas Veteran Commission, and CEO of the public speaking and professional development organization Holdfast. Speaking of professional, I want to look. There's actually a okay, so Dan Rodimer, 1,104 votes. Dan Rodimer is actually, he ran for an election in he actually ran for an election in what was it in Nevada, and I think it was a representative election for like Nevada 3, maybe no 2 or something, somewhere north of Las Vegas, and he actually didn't win the primary.
So the Ellis County has just voted. They're still waiting for Narva, right? Narva.
Navarro County,
Yeah.
which is where um what was it? It was
What county are you in?
around Tarrant.
Around here. Okay.
Yeah.
So
If LZ keeps up his support in the rural areas, it's gonna be interesting since Suzanne Wright is endorsed by Donald Trump.
what was that?
Interesting if LZ keeps up his lead in the rural counties since Suzanne Wright has been endorsed by Donald Trump.
Okay. Yeah, this is for sure going to a runoff. That's exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting that this was going to go into a runoff. So it's, I think, around when we should be able to know. Then that's whenever we can kind of like, I guess, wrap this live stream up, because I mean, we're not gonna sit here and wait for a result. We're basically gonna, I mean, they could call it, but it depends on how high the turnout is. But I'm pretty sure the turnout's going to be more than 43,000, and we're probably talking
Yeah,
about
but
maybe half a million maybe.
in runoff, the turnout's usually pretty high, from what I've seen. Oh, did I disconnect?
Did
Many results so far.
did you disconnect? So I'm gonna.
Z, you on?
I don't know if something's going on with his. Come on, what are you doing, Navarro? We're waiting.
Yeah, GenZ disconnected.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Alright, sorry about that. Okay.
And apparently, in another election, in this area, I'm talking about Flower Mound. Flower Mound has a guy running for mayor. Let me see if I can recognize his name. I think it was Derek France or something like that. There's a guy that's running for mayor, and he's apparently being sued by Charlie Sheen. I'm talking about like the Charlie Sheen. I'm not talking about another Charlie Sheen, like that Charlie Sheen you're thinking of. So, it's kind of weird seeing some of these. God, and DFW doesn't want to like update the results unless they're just taking forever. Just like these are too many races. We don't know what the hell to do.
Do you know, I forgot what I was gonna ask. There's like, it's crazy. There's like 15 Republicans. There's like 12 Republicans running, 5 Democrats, a Libertarian, Independent. There's a whole bunch of people.
I think I saw something. Let me look. It's
A Green
11,
Party.
11 Republicans, 10 Democrats, 1 Libertarian, and 1 Independent.
That's insane.
That's the weird thing about it, is that there's so many people running in this election. I don't know if they're planning to try to get it into a runoff. I mean, I think that's the reason that so many people run and don't drop out, is because they're trying to force it into a runoff and see who can get into the top 2. So
you have to get over, how does it work in this district?
what do you mean?
You
have to get over 50% to avoid a
You have to
runoff.
get under 50% to send it into a runoff, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically,
okay.
because there's so many people running, it's very likely that they're going to force this into a runoff, and I think that's the plan behind it. The thing about that is it basically works the same way as it does, that you see in any other runoff election. If you don't get over 50% of the vote, then it's going to go into a runoff. And then
Yeah.
whoever the top 2 are, regardless of their party, is going to regardless of their party, it's going to go into a runoff. So if Jake Ellizzi and Susan Wright can actually stay in the top 2, depending on where Navarro goes, depending on where Arlington goes, depending on where Ellis goes, then we could very likely be looking at 2 Republicans. So the thing about it is that, is it going to be a traditional Republican, or is it going to be a Trumper Republican?
Susan Wright's more of the Trump Republican, right?
See, that's also one of the things about it. Again, I was kind of a little busy, so I should have done more research on these candidates, especially the so-called front runners. It's just that I basically know the area, so
Yeah. Susan Wright is more of the Trump Republican, though, right?
I would have to look. I really can't tell you off the top of my head.
Because I'm pretty sure she got endorsed by Trump, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I mean,
I
if
read that somewhere.
chat's talking about it, if chat knows anything, please enlighten us on this. I need to up my political analysis skills. Who's the progressive Fort Worth mayor? Let me actually check that real quick.
It's right now. Get to the Wikipedia page. That's where they have it.
Okay, let's see.
Info on it.
So Susan Wright.
To be populist. I mean, I assume Jake Elvis is a populist. I'm not sure. I think he was endorsed by Rick Perry. That was one of his big name endorsements. I don't know. I'm not quite sure if Rick Perry would be described as a populist.
Yeah, Susan Wright's more of a Trump kind of Republican, and then the other guy's more of a traditional Republican. from what I'm seeing.
So there's Suzanne Wright, endorsed by Andy Biggs, Donald Trump, also Lee Stefanik, who's he's Republican from New York. Dan Rodimer is endorsed by Paul Gosar. There is Jake Elzy. He is endorsed by Rick Perry.
Okay.
And that's some of the big names.
Ant, to answer your question, who is the progressive in the Fort Worth election? It's Deborah Peoples. That is the progressive that we are going to be watching over. I mean, I think I'm still trying to get some active results on the Fort Worth election right now. So if you can find that, make sure to hit it, send it to me on Discord. But I am looking for it right now. But Deborah Peoples is the progressive that we're going to be watching for.
Does California have any Republican representatives? I don't think they do.
Are you talking about federal?
Yeah.
Then yes, they do.
How many?
Kevin McCarthy is a
Minority
representative
leader.
from California.
I know, but how many do they have? Is that the only one?
No.
Gains there actually in 2020. They had a few, I think, very moderate suburban, like Mitt Romney types win in the LA suburbs.
Does California have any?
Off the top of my head, I'm looking at. So 1, 2, 3.
They have about 4, I think. 1,
4,
2, 3, 4,
5,
6.
6, 7, 8,
Something.
9, 10, 11. 11 Republican representatives from California, including one that's in a Democratic district, like a D+3 and a D+5. So 2 are from like D+ districts, which is interesting.
Definitely some very Republican rural areas in California, like in most states.
Yeah. And California is huge.
Oh, yeah.
See, what really confuses me is that there's some elections that basically there's some elections that basically kind of like say like, oh, like it's a like some of them say like you need to get above 50%, but then there's other elections that are just like, no, whoever doesn't get above 50%, then you have to go into a runoff. Those elections kind of confuse me.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about when I was looking at this too. I didn't know what the runoff, if you had to get over 50% or what. I think I think that I think that this is most likely going to go into a runoff because there's like 4 candidates that have over 10%.
I'm pretty certain it's going to go into a runoff. I think
Yeah.
all of us can safely assume that it's going to go into a runoff.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it right now. Deborah Peoples is actually Deborah Peoples is ahead in the office
Really?
for mayor.
Wow.
Wow, that's okay. Okay.
In what county?
In the city of Fort Worth for mayor.
Okay.
That's the progressive. Oh boy, that's huge.
Is Fort Worth a very Democratic city, or is it more moderate?
Not until like 2018. Really, not until 2018. That's wow. I really didn't expect that was gonna happen, but
not a lot of results coming in so
Where are you
far.
finding the results for the mayors? Because I'm on ABC FWN. It says 0% is in.
What was that?
I said, where are you getting result for Fort Worth mayor? I'm on NBC and it says 0% is in.
I'm getting it from directly from the Fort Worth Tarrant County election tab.
Okay.
But that's interesting. More DSA members in city councils. Let's go. Oh boy, come on, man. Speaking of the ant is actually planning to run for mayor.
Of what city?
Oh, really?
It's in North Carolina. I won't give that information yet until he's ready to do it. But good, big old shout out to the ant for his mayoral campaign.
Well, best of luck to you, the ant.
Yes.
Oh boy, that's man, that's I really okay. So Pineville, North Carolina. Okay, I'll say it. Since you said it, I'll say it. It's Pineville, North Carolina.
Pineville.
It's basically like overshadowed by Charlotte in Mecklenburg County.
How much do you make like being a mayor of a city? How much is that
I think
income?
it depends, but there's some mayors. I think especially where I live, like some mayors literally have to work like a second job aside from being mayor.
Oh,
Okay, so it depends on the state. California is the highest with almost 200,000.
interesting.
Oklahoma. Wow, Oklahoma. You want to be a mayor there? Wait, actually, no. The highest is Washington with over 200,000. That's crazy.
GenZ, would you ever consider running for office?
Yeah, that's actually the one thing I kind of want to do.
Yeah, same.
What I'm thinking is, I don't know. I want to go to college for a few years, maybe. I don't actually know if I want to go to college, and then I want to run for a representative in South Dakota.
Okay, so the guy that Charlie Sheen is suing is actually doing number 2 right now in the mayor for the city of Flower Mound in Texas. His name is Itamar Gelbman. So I actually said Derek France earlier, but it's actually Itamar Gelbman. So
You know why?
Huh?
You know why Charlie Sheen is suing him?
It says is attempting to collect nearly $129,000 in legal fees occurred whenever the judge ruled in his favor after Gelbman sued Sheen for a breach of contract. The lawsuit is the first reported by this agency. It's kind of like nothing big, but Gelbman is actually he's serving on the Flower Mound city council, so. I'm also still watching the election results. Still, there's about 37,000 votes that are reported in from the Fort Worth. Oh, we're getting more votes. So Susan Wright took the lead in Texas 6.
Oh, wow,
wow.
yeah. I'm looking on there right now.
There you go. Oh, and Navarro's finally reporting.
She's ahead by 10 votes.
2 votes.
Yeah, she's ahead
10
literally
2
by 10
votes. Oh my god. It's Brian Harrison. He's the another like very America First candidate. Turns out there's also a candidate endorsed by Adam Kinzinger.
That's crazy. She's ahead by literally 10 votes.
Highland Park. Oh, that's just north of Uptown and north of Oaklawn.
Oh, Nara vote came in.
Another vote. It still says 10 votes.
Fort Worth does not like Brian. I think Brian Harrison would have a chance if it wasn't for Fort Worth.
Yeah, I think he would.
Dang, it's
It really looks like
Carly, I'm actually from North Texas. I'm from the DFW area. So this is more of a kind of like coverage of everything that's going on. Basically, I mean, where I live, I mean, I had to go vote. Hopefully, I don't know if you're old enough to vote, but hopefully you voted if you live in Highland Park. Maybe I can actually look at the Highland Park elections if I can.
Don't worry, guys. Phil Gray, our libertarian, has 115 votes.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Let me see the 115 votes. Even the independent is doing better than the libertarian right now.
There's so many people running. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fun part about these freaking jungle primaries. Jungle primaries are some of the weirdest thing to watch. Cuz that's the other thing is just like I don't understand uh I don't understand what makes them just go like, oh, um like, you know, this is going to be a jungle primary, or I guess it's just the amount of people that they get to file into it, and then they kind of like decide before the election. They're just like, yeah, like let's make this into a jungle primary because they're getting so many applications to join.
I wonder if that's it. I know a lot of special elections are jungle primaries.
Yeah, I want to run. I want to run for somewhere very republic, like somewhere like Oklahoma or South Dakota or Kansas or somewhere like that.
Okay, so I'm
Oh
gonna be
no, but Kansas is
looking.
totally shifting to the left. No room for you there.
Kansas isn't good. I don't think Kansas will ever go.
And I think that overall Kansas is it showed a leftward swing in 2020, but I'm not sure if that's a trend.
It's
I'm
not. It's
comparing
just
swings to trends.
it just states like that. They just go back and forth a little bit, but overall,
Yeah.
I think it's Republican.
Some states
Dang.
they swing a little bit, but it's not a lot.
Mayors actually make quite a bit of money.
So city of Dallas, apparently they're having council election. So I guess they're not having a mayoral election, but they have a ton of council elections. City of Duncanville, Farmers Branch, Garland, Grand Prairie. Grand Prairie is a big one. That's right next to Arlington. See, it's kind of
I just
funny.
find it.
Literally, all of these are nonpartisan elections.
I just find it interesting fact. You could be any age to run for governor in Kansas.
You have to
Yeah,
what?
there are high schoolers doing it.
In Kansas, you
2018.
could run for governor at any age. Even 3-year-olds could run.
Oh, that's fun.
I'm not even kidding.
I think there was someone
There are
that
high
literally
school
had their.
students running.
I think there was someone that literally
2018.
had their
Yeah.
dog run for the election.
Yeah, because in Kansas, like literally anything where anybody could run. It's kind of weird. For governor.
Unfortunately,
Imagine.
I'm not old enough to vote, but a lot of left-leaning people have moved to Highland Park. I'll move to Kansas and run. Oh boy. Yeah, go ahead and run, Carly. Run for statewide office in
When
Kansas.
Gen Z will face down.
Become the
The-
youngest. Become the youngest governor ever.
Imagine
waiting to see
your
the Republican primary of
3-year-old
Harley versus Gen Z.
Yes.
See,
Would win.
Carly actually made a really good point. The thing about Dallas County, and I mean, this is going into like future presidential elections. The area that she's actually talking about is like Park Cities, Uptown. Uh, uh, what is this? This is Oaklawn. Oaklawn is actually home to a very large gay population, I believe. And
Yeah.
University Park is actually okay. So I'm talking about University Park. University Park is right smack in between US 75 and the Dallas North Tollway. And the weird thing about it is that they're basically kind of like Plano, where they vote traditionally Republican because it's a very rich area. Except I think what's been going on is that there's been a lot of liberal voters that have been expanding out from the urban areas, especially like South Dallas, and are kind of starting to migrate up north. And then so what's going on is that in Texas, and that's why you're seeing the bluing of Texas and this area right here, because Dallas County, Denton County, Collin County, Tarrant County, Rockwall, and the areas that we're looking at right now, in Navarro and Ellis, like these areas are going to be very important coming into future presidential, Senate, and representative elections, because these areas are going to be bluing. Like it's
I've
basically kind of like pouring water, and then it's gonna take it about maybe 10 years for it to really take effect. But these areas that we're looking at right now, and that's why I think it's a big thing that Deborah Peoples is winning in Fort Worth, is um because I mean these are traditionally Republican areas that really honestly should not be losing in the DFW area.
yeah. I wonder. All right, I think I have to go soon though. We'll
Okay,
see.
that's fine.
Yeah, I think Susan Wright is
Oh,
pulling
Gomez
ahead a
left.
little. He hasn't really talked at all.
Yeah, I know. I kind of understand, because I mean, I don't really know him. I'm gonna have him on another podcast to
Yeah, you
learn.
should. He
Um,
was gaining a lot of subs for a little bit.
yeah. Oh
He gained
yes.
like
For those who are watching right now, subscriber war between me and GenZ Patriot. So make
so
sure to
unsubscribe to him. I'm just kidding.
no, everyone unsubscribe to GenZ.
Yes.
But
Well, in far more interesting news, me and America First Politics are having a sub war to 100. So, it's just 5,000. Who cares about that?
yeah, say
Yeah,
say
no one cares.
no one cares. We're talking about with what 3,500 with Gen Z and nearly 5,000 with me. So get out of here. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Lapse candidates. So you guys should be still looking at these election results. We're still looking at it. It's taken. They updated it 9 minutes ago, so we're still waiting.
It's taking years to update.
And I mean, okay, so finally NBC. So 50% reporting, and Deborah Peoples is ahead. Jesus Christ, what is going on in Fort Worth? Ah man. Oh man, that is crazy. How I did not expect that Deborah Peoples was going to be able to pull this off. If this is what's going on in Fort Worth, I really need to see what's going on in my local area. Like,
Holy crap! Yeah, 35. Maddie Parker is 3 points behind.
So the progressive in my area is performing 39% right now. So that's because it's a four-way race in my city.
Dang. Even just how many people are running for mayor is insane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What in
7, 8, 9, 10.
Fort Worth?
Fort Worth, yeah.
Yeah, we got 12 people on the ballot in Fort Worth.
It's insane.
PG, if you lose the war, I will find a quarter. Yeah, I mean, if I'm losing whenever I'm 300 away and I lose to someone who's 1,500 behind me, shit, I'll delete my channel. Just kidding, I won't. But
just gotta learn the algorithm.
I really knew Fort Worth was gonna be a battleground, but Jesus Christ, what? I mean, Maddie Parker, this makes me sad, OMG. I know. I mean, this is a warning sign for future elections in Tarrant County because I mean, that is insane.
Oh, let's see. Is she
I mean, I think
Is
the
she is Maddie Parker American First candidate?
Maddie Parker. So I'm gonna have to do some research on some of these candidates.
I'll just Google the election because that's the best source of information I have.
Yeah, let me go ahead and look up some people. This is the sleeper election right now. Like this is like a lot of people are going to be covering. I need to make an analysis about this. This is going to be big. This is a warning sign for Republicans in Tarrant County. Mayoral.
Maddie Parker is a Republican. That's just all it says.
Stop beating me.
Wait, is she an American First candidate or?
I'm not sure.
See, that's
No,
the thing
no
about
one
it.
on.
Like, it's a local election, so we're really not talking about because whenever we're looking at the Texas special election, yeah, we're gonna be looking at America First versus non-America First. But whenever we're looking
Yeah.
at whenever you look at local elections, it's never about that because that's national politics. We're talking about local politics
That's
here.
true. Yeah,
So
100%.
there's a massive difference between local politics and national.
Holy
what?
in Norval County, Susan Wright and Brian Harrison are 2 votes apart.
Oh
My
wow, that's
God.
interesting.
That's insane.
Yeah, this is absolutely this is going to a runoff because I mean, look, there's it's not consistent. It is not consistent right now because I mean, in Tarrant County, we're looking at Jana Lynn Sanchez, who's ahead of Susan Wright, but then Sean Lassiter is in third place. In Ellis County, it's Jake Ellizzi, Brian Harrison, and Susan Wright. And then in Navarro County, it's Susan Wright, Brian Harrison, and Jake Ellizzi. So this
It's all over the place.
is a very interesting election. I mean, we got
I
a
kind of
progressive
Brian.
we got a progressive winning in Fort Worth. We got a runoff on our hands right here. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I said I kind of hope Brian. From what I'm seeing, Brian Harrison looks kind of I kind of like him. I hope he wins.
So I really need to find some like faster, accurate election results for Fort Worth mayor. So while I do that, I'm going to find if you guys are looking, I would appreciate if you were if y'all were to send that to me. But you don't have to. Because I know you probably would not know where to look.
So Maddie Parker was endorsed by the prior mayor of Fort Worth.
Who's a nonpartisan. She was a woman. Betsy Price. So Betsy Price. So let's see if Deborah Peoples wins this election. Let's see what we're looking at here. So Betsy Price is the incumbent mayor of Fort Worth. She, in a nonpartisan election, she was elected 3 terms. She was a Republican. Yeah. So we're shifting from a Republican in Fort Worth to Deborah Peoples, who is a progressive. And the thing about it is that in 2020, whenever the I need Miss Maddie P to pull through. So do I. We got 50% reporting right now. So
Did you know? Wait, there's 45,000 votes, and the highest candidate has 7,000
where in
for
Fort
the
Worth?
for 6th district.
In
Yeah, see,
congressional
that's the
race.
other thing. I mean, we got
It's
6,000,
so split.
5,000, 3,000, 2,000, 2,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So yeah, I mean, we're talking about 45,000 votes. So yeah, that's a weird thing. See, that's the weird.
All right.
That's why I hate jungle primaries because elections end up looking like this.
Yeah.
Okay, I need your guys' opinion. Not do you want him to win, but do you think Trump will run in 2024?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to both of you.
Yeah, he'll run, I think, at this point.
I really do not like his personality, but I like his
Yeah, but
policies.
I just mean, like, do you think he will run? Like, do you think he's going to?
Do I think he's going to? Possibly. I mean, if we're talking about him like running, I mean, possibly. I mean, he's saying that he's going to, but he kind of likes to tickle you before he actually says what he's gonna do. So
I think he's going to.
he did that for
Trump
like
won't.
4 years.
Trump won't go out without a fight. I have a feeling. I think I'd rather have DeSantis run, but I think he will go. I think he will run again for sure. He's not going to
So
go
in the
out without a
chat,
fight.
the Populist Focus said he's holding rallies. He's gonna run. He said he will declare if he will after 2022 midterms.
I hope it doesn't turn into election. It's always we're thinking about an election because it used to be there's just an election every 4 years or whatever. Now it's like we're already thinking about it 3 years in advance. It kind of,
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. I think it's kind of unhealthy for the nation.
Yeah, you had major candidates announcing their senatorial and gubernatorial bids in early 2021. Usually they wait till almost the beginning of 2022.
Yeah, it's insane. Like even people like Joe Collins or whatever, they already announced it. Like, and that's just a representative race too. That's not even a governor or anything.
I swear to God, having like 3 monitors for election coverage, I need like 5 to do this. Like, I swear to God.
Yeah, I just have
And this is
one.
only one race. Think about like the midterms.
Oh God, don't even go there yet. I don't even I don't want to think about the midterms right now.
You need like 15. You need like 35 monitors.
I'm gonna need like a surrounding of monitors just all over me. That way I could just like have like one fucking uh like election on each monitor. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I need like a vertical monitor or something. That's a
What? I'm excited for I hope I get hit at least 30 or 40K by midterms because I'm excited to stream about it.
Are you
I'm
talking about
excited to stream the
subscribers?
midterms. Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna be able to get up there?
Social Blade's projecting I hit around 25K by then.
Take Social Blade with a grain of salt because the thing about Social Blade, the thing I hate about Social Blade and why I kind of like stopped looking at it, Social Blade basically because it's going by 10, right? It's going by 10, so it's doubling. It basically kind of like divide that number by 10, that growth number by 10,
Yeah.
because it's only looking at when you'll be able to reach that number by a specific point because your channel grows by 10 according to them. They don't say how many exact subscribers because it says like you got 190, but it could be anywhere between 190 and 199. So
Yeah.
that's a big difference right there.
But like right now, I don't know if my growth is sustainable. But like last week, I was gaining about 30 subscribers a day on average or whatever. And then one day I hit like 190 subscribers one day. So
PG, would you be
that
okay with 300 Zimbabwean dollars? Yes. Yes, I want to see how much that is worth, but yes. USD to.
I'm curious now.
I know, I'm looking it up.
300
I'm gonna guess
Zimbabwe.
it's really low.
That's $1. It's just one. It's like around $1. Yeah, go
More than
ahead.
I'm
Go
making
ahead.
YouTube
Go ahead.
for-
Like 300 Zimbabweans. It's just the
Here's
dollar.
the thing. If I was monetized, because one of my videos just hit around 20K views. If I was monetized and my videos and the videos I had ads on weren't copyright, I would have made around $700 in ad revenue. Even if I had a low RPM, I would still be hitting pretty good. But I'm not monetized yet, so it's annoying.
I like what the Populous Focus said. This is updating slower than the Georgia runoffs at 2 a.m. I know.
Dude, so I'll tell you a funny story about the Georgia runoffs, okay? So I stayed up literally all night waiting for Georgia runoffs. And like eventually I'm just like, okay, I think the results came in. I was so excited. So I went to bed, okay? I wake up in the morning to see like the final announcements. And then I wake up, okay? And I go on the TV to look at the Georgia announcements. And I see people just inside the Capitol. And I was so confused.
The Georgia runoffs?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
after the Georgia runoff. The day after
No,
was the
bro. Like, okay, so I don't. Let's not name it by name, just so I don't get demonetized. No, man, I wasn't even watching the Georgia runoffs. I was literally watching the election, the what was it, the electoral college count, and I'm sitting there watching it, and I start seeing them kind of like stop, kind of like, because I'm watching C-SPAN or something, and I'm sitting there and they start stopping and they kind of start freaking out in the chamber, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then I look at my phone and it said, and I get a CNN report saying like this like people are breaking into the Capitol building, and
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like, what? What?
No, yeah,
What?
the day it happened, I slept in till like 11 because I was tired of the night before. So I went to look. I went on like Fox News. I never look at cable, but that day was just like, I'm just gonna go look at cable for some reason. So I went because I thought they would have the Georgia runoffs. I went and looked at cable, and it was at the climax of it, and people were literally breaking the windows and going into the Capitol. And I'm just like, what the heck is happening? So of course I
No.
hurried and made a YouTube video about it, saying how it was wrong. But I was just stunned.
I watched that the whole day, and I was like,
Same. I just got on the floor and watched it.
I did not leave my computer because I was just like, holy crap, what the
That's exactly
going
what
on
I
right
did.
now?
Yeah, for me, my brother was texting me updates just the entire time because I was actually getting COVID tested. So he just starts texting me, and I go, "Oh my god, there are people inside the Capitol," and I went home and whole day. So
If you guys really want an inside view of what happened at the Capitol, there's this horrible channel. It's called Jaden X. But he actually was in the Capitol, and he actually was the the person that got shot.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, if like you don't like mind the graphics a little, he was the closest person to the woman that got shot, and I never
Wow.
saw that footage. I never saw that footage before, but I watched the entire 1 hour and 30 minutes of him going in. Like he's a horrible person. The whole time he was yelling, "Burn it down" or whatever. But it gives a really inside view of what happened that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I can. Yeah, no.
It's so hot.
It's freaking.
It's like 95 degrees where I'm at.
Oh boy.
wow.
And it still hasn't updated. It hasn't updated in 23 minutes. Come on. Let me see. Are they updating? No, that even the Tarrant County election results haven't even updated.
Nothing's updating.
I'm in a lull right now.
It's updating slower than the presidential election.
Oh god. Did any of you guys do an all nighter that night?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I streamed it.
Yeah, I wanted to, but I had stuff the next day, and I knew that eventually, I think it was after, either it was before or after Florida was called. I said it was about 1 a.m., 1 or 2 a.m., and I said, okay, nothing's happening. I'm just going to sleep. But it was a
Oh
crazy
yeah,
night.
it was insane because Trump won Texas, he won Florida. I was pretty confident he was gonna win, and then as we know, it took 4 or 5 days to get Pennsylvania in. Like Trump was ahead by 800,000 votes in Pennsylvania, and then it just magically flipped over the course of a few days.
So I think I finally found what I need to be looking for. So I think I'm going to be able to get some more accurate results uh, from the Fort Worth mayoral election. I'm also following a couple of different. Here we are. So Deborah Peoples, 37,000 votes total. She got 34.65. So 34. So yeah, that's about right. I'm
Holy
looking at.
crap!
So I'm gonna. Don't worry about Dallas County for right now. Um. Okay, so Maddie Parker, 32.06. So if I can actually pull up a map, you guys are actually looking. Oh, don't tell me it's all gray because it's all nonpartisan.
Oh my god, that would be
Oh god, I hate. That's why I
cool.
hate some of these things. Fort Worth also kind of extends into
Mm.
Denton County, so that's a
Hmm.
23
Who do you
minute snow
think?
update.
Who do you
Do you
guys think
think
will
Denton
win?
and Collin could ever flip to the Democrats?
Sorry, what?
Do
Who do
you
you
think that
guys
Denton
think?
and Collin could ever flip to the Democrats?
Yeah, like that's the thing about Texas. So I'm gonna circle back to something. Uh, the dude made a video of me and deleted it. What guy? So some people have been asking me about a couple of things. So Ricardo says, PG, what is your big brain prediction on Texas's future? I'm gonna circle to it whenever I talk about this. And then let me look. And then it was something what you said. What did you say?
Me?
Some you asked me something about, okay, so Denton and Collin County. Okay. So the thing about Texas is that whenever it comes to, you know, who's going to win in Texas, it's it's very much going to come down to Denton and Collin County. Tarrant County is already making it close, right? So Tarrant County is one of the fun places because if I can actually pull
Oh, holy crap! Wait,
president,
I think the results just updated for the.
did they?
Oh wait,
No, they haven't.
let me check. Oh, okay, I was wrong.
They updated 30
I'm
minutes ago.
excited there for a second.
Okay. So I actually have a map that I'm pulling up on a stream. So Denton and Collin County are the fun areas whenever we're talking about Texas going blue. I need to make an update thing about saying like is Texas going to go blue in 2024 because I made one for 2020 and I was
It won't. It won't. I
basically
don't think.
right. And that's the thing. If Democrats can improve in these areas, because we're talking about college. We're talking about college areas. And one of the biggest things that I'm seeing in this map that I'm looking at, the areas that have um the areas that have colleges and areas that are more suburban white and are actually starting to urbanize a little more. A lot of people are going to Denton, a lot of people are going to Collin. Up here we see Potter County, Wichita County is a big one. Lubbock County is home to Lubbock. Potter County is Amarillo. Wichita County is home to Wichita Falls. There's a lot of different communities in Denton, but the biggest ones, so I'm going to take Denton for example. In Denton County, we have two cities in Denton that are home to large liberal populations. Louisville Carrollton, and Denton. The rest of it, I mean, we're talking about Corinth, Argyle, uh Prosper, I think, is in it. The outskirts of Decatur, Sanger. Those are more kind of like a rural kind of areas. Because the weird thing about Denton is that it's the one county in DFW that is basically like half urban and half rural. So if Democrats can improve their numbers in places like Louisville, like Carrollton, like Denton, and then maybe Republican turnout starts to sink in places like Argyle, like Corinth, like those areas, which is going to improve Democratic numbers. That's going to be one of the biggest things about that. So it's a possibility.
I don't know. I think overall in Texas, I think I think it will mostly stay red because everyone's saying how all the people from moving from California are going to places like Texas and Florida, and it's making it all blue. But in my opinion, yes, that is happening. But at the same time, I feel like lots of people that move to places like Texas, they like the lifestyle. So then, in return, they become, more.
Yeah, see,
They
that's the
become more
thing.
conservative.
That's the thing is that trying to look for something. That's the thing about Texas is that there's a lot of people that are moving here from places like California, like Oregon, like Washington, Illinois, New York, all of them. Because if we actually looked at the 2020 census, the biggest winner of the 2020 census was Texas. We gained two congressional representatives in the census, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So that's the thing about Texas is that there's a lot of people that are moving here from blue states, New York, California mainly. And if they're not going to Texas, they're going to Florida.
yeah.
So
Or even Georgia.
the other thing that I wanted to talk about is not only Denton, we're talking about Collin County. Collin County is home to Plano, Garland, Frisco. Frisco and Plano are very, like, if you're talking about suburban white, that is suburban white. It is basically as suburban white as Arlington. And the thing about Texas is that whenever it came to suburban white voters, those people flocked from the Republican Party. However, if you actually look at places like South Dallas, where Oak Cliff is. Oak Cliff is actually, if you're thinking about it, I'm gonna say something that makes it make a little more sense. It's like Brooklyn or the Bronx or Harlem. We're talking about like very large uh population of minority voters that live in places like Oak Cliff. And Oak Cliff is just a small area of South Dallas, but I'm talking about South Dallas in general. And in that election, we actually saw a lot of voters that were going from the Democrats to the Republican. I mean, if you actually looked at the results from New York, places like, I mean, the Bronx trended like 7 points Republican, Brooklyn trended like 9 points Republican. And Dallas actually shifted a little more to the red, mainly because of the increased support that Trump got from South Dallas. But then if you actually looked at who was it, Carly was talking about an area, it was a what was it called, um it was an area in North Dallas. We're talking about like University Park, uh Oaklawn, um and those areas were trending Democratic, and that's home to a lot of suburban white people. And same thing in
Yeah.
the same thing in Tarrant County. So that's one of the things, and I don't know when the Democratic Party is going to realize this, the DFW area, if they could shift that, I mean, if Denton County could go like 5149, 5148, if Collin County could go uh, closer than it was now. I mean, it was actually closer than Denton. Like if Collin and Denton could shift a little more to the left, then Texas is gonna go blue. And if Republicans could actually lose in Harris, lose in
If
Travis,
Republicans lose Texas, then they're done. They can't win the election. No way.
mm-hmm.
There's no way they can win without Texas.
Yeah, if Texas goes, it's over. Like if they call Texas on the night of the election for the Democratic Party, it is
It's
like
no way.
Republicans are done.
They can't win.
It would like it would be tense looking at it, but as soon as that call comes in for Texas, it's over.
Yeah.
But another thing, I mean, I'm talking about places like Smith County, Morris County, Gregg County, Nacogdoches County was actually a big one. Nacogdoches County is home to a college in Nacogdoches, Stephen F. Austin University, and I know several people that actually go to SFA, and I mean, Angelina County is home to Lufkin, and Lufkin was Lufkin is home to Angelina is home to Lufkin, which basically Lufkin is kind of like similar in terms of like Taylor County, where Abilene is. If I could actually find a Taylor County right here. So yeah, they actually voted pretty similarly in terms of Taylor and Angelina County. But then Nacogdoches County is just like, no, I'm gonna vote way further to the left of Angelina County than a lot of people expected.
I think that Republicans. So for a long time, the Democrats have always been the one with the popular vote. I feel like it's starting to change, where the Republicans can get the popular vote and still lose the election. I think that's a big possibility in 2024.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Republicans have basically been doing that, but flipped. Like they've been winning the election, but they've been losing the popular vote. The Republicans haven't won a popular vote election since 2004.
Yeah.
And even before that, the last time they ever won the popular vote of a national election was in 88.
Holy crap.
Yeah. 92. Bush lost his re-election. Obviously, the popular vote went to Bill Clinton. 96, Bill Clinton got re-elected with the popular vote. 2000, the Republicans won without the popular vote by 500,000 votes. 2004, the Republicans won the popular vote and the national election. 2008, Republicans obviously lost. 2012, they lost. 2016, Republicans won again in the Electoral College, but lost the popular vote. And in 2020, Republicans lost the election and lost the Electoral College.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
But we are geared again because, I mean, we're talking about places like, because as long as like Republicans are not making more than, as long, I mean, 37, I mean, I think the Republican would have to make like 45% of the vote in New York, maybe 40% of the vote in California, 43% of the vote in Colorado, and then win the popular votes in places like Georgia, Florida, Texas, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Maybe do a little bit better in Virginia. And
yeah, because even like, because here's the thing that I like the Electoral College mostly, but it's insane because literally someone could win in Texas by 2 votes, and those 2 people could account for 20% of the election. So like in some ways it's good, but then in other ways it's like, well, holy crap, how is it like some people's votes just don't count?
I agree that it's mixed overall. As long as Democrats control the very big states like New York and California, they're always going to win the popular vote.
Exactly.
Then
Republic-
again, all the times the Electoral College hasn't agreed with the popular necessarily. It was always elections that there was a plurality. For example, Hillary Clinton did not win over 50% of the popular vote in 2016.
And that
So
was
she won by 3
mainly
million. She didn't win a landslide.
because in 2016 she that there was it was like the strongest independent showing since 2000 or even 1996. Actually 1996.
All right,
Yes,
I have
and
to. These votes are taking super long to come in, and I have to go. Sorry.
Nah, it's okay. I understand.
Yeah. All right. See
yeah,
you
crowd
guys.
grew to like
No problem. Thank you for
6.
joining.
I shouldn't say longer.
You're welcome. Bye.
That was Gen Z Patriot. That's the guy I'm having a subscriber war with. So it's nothing too fancy. Don't subscribe to him, otherwise I would tell you to go subscribe to him. But subscribe to me. Subscribe to PoliticsGaming because my channel is superior to Gen Z Patriot. No, just kidding. He makes some pretty good content. I would recommend y'all check out his channel. But don't subscribe. Just check it out. Anyway, we're gonna be watching this. I mean, EWA. If you're too bored or something like that, you don't have to stick it out for the entire thing. I can basically just kind of sit here and just kind of cover these elections. But if you want to stay, that's cool.
That's fine. I'll stay for a little bit longer.
Okay.
Okay, so no changes yet. So
Yeah, no changes as of yet. Still nothing changing in the Fort Worth mayor election.
yeah, it's definitely pretty slow now.
Yeah, see, that's the funny thing about these kinds of elections. It's always takes a while. What I am actually gonna do while we wait. I have actually not eaten, so I'm gonna order food while I do this. So guys, if you guys hear me, if I may have to step away soon, so but it wouldn't be 2 seconds. So I've actually not eaten, so I'm gonna order something.
Sweet. Okay.
If you got any Texans in the chat, Whataburger is better. Whataburger is better. I actually considered ordering Taco Bell. But Whataburger is superior to all else. If you ever heard of In-N-Out, that's basically our version of In-N-Out.
I was about to actually just say that.
Another thing is Culver's. I'm gonna get a lot of hate from some of the northern people, but it's kind of like similar to In-N-Out, Culver's. I actually have a Culver's, but it's like 10 miles away from me. I love a Whataburger and In-N-Out. Actually, I mean, uh, like In-N-Out is not that bad. It's just like if you're gonna ask me to compare, um, Calvers, don't say nothing bad, and I won't say anything bad. I actually need to go back there and try them out again. Like I have not have Culver. Is it Calvers or Culvers? I think it's Culvers. I thought it was Culvers. But I have not had Culvers in a while. In-N-Out fries are disgusting. Yeah, see, that's one of the things that I kind of don't like about In-N-Out is because their fries are just so small. And I mean, Whataburger ketchup and Whataburger spicy ketchup and Whataburger ketchup like is gonna take the cake. I have to find something to talk about while we wait for these freaking results to come in. So
Actually, like In-N-Out fries in a way. I guess I've just eaten them my entire life. It's just kind of a reflex.
Culver's. Okay, so it's Culver's. Culver's. Okay. Okay, thank you, Gomez. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Culver's. You have to help me open a Whataburger in North Carolina. Yeah.
That is Mayor, the ant. Bring Whataburger to North Carolina.
Yeah, that's gonna be your mayoral promise, ants. Like, what are you gonna bring? What are you gonna bring to Pineville? Oh, I'm gonna bring a freaking Whataburger. What else am I gonna do? I promise during my administration that I'm gonna open a Whataburger. That would be funny. They are a Chicago-based restaurant. They were a Texas-based restaurant until very recently, and it was actually a big controversy whenever that happened because a lot of people were just like, why are they going to Chicago? Like, we don't want to be a blue restaurant. But they're actually Chicago based, so maybe they could start branching out. So
Yeah.
Populist Focus said robocall said Susan killed her husband to become a representative. What the hell? Did it say he was paid
Yeah.
for? Is
Yeah,
Pineville
I read
sorry.
about that.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
was reading about that. It was
I actually haven't heard about that. Is Pineville more Democrat or Republican? It is overshadowed. It's a few thousand people just south of Charlotte. It directly hugs the border with South Carolina. If you're talking about partisanness, I think it would basically shift more democratic, maybe, in terms of the ballot. Um, so I think, I think the ants could correct me on this. It's Republican, but election and nonpartisan. So yeah, so that was me assuming just because they're next to Charlotte. Um, my county is light red, so is mine.
Let's point out one thing that Populist Focus said in the chat a little earlier. The Republican vote combined is around 60%. That definitely shows an advantage going into the theoretical runoff.
For which one?
The representative race. So, yeah, if you add all the Republican votes in total, it is 61.57%, according to the Populist Focus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I guess that would be, yeah, that's good news for the Republicans if they had a runoff against a Democrat. So it's probably unlikely it'll be that close.
Okay. Just said updated just now. Ooh, did it? Wait, it did update.
Oh, huh.
Updated 3 minutes ago.
Nothing
I
changed.
guess they added a lot because it's still separated by 10 votes.
Yeah, did
So I guess they
Joe
added a lot of
win?
other votes except for Susan, Jake, and Jaina. Unless I'm missing something. All of the votes
Maybe
for Fort
Taryn
Worth
had
Mayor
more
and
votes than
Texas
him?
6 and Tarrant County are early voting. Okay, so that's why it's taking so long, is because they're still counting the freaking election day vote. Damn it! PG, help me bring Chick-fil-A to
I'm
Washington.
entirely against mail-in voting because it makes elections way more boring.
Yeah, I know, right? Where are you reading that it's absentee and early?
No precincts have reported in yet in Tarrant County.
Yeah, see, that's actually what I'm seeing on the mayoral election. If I actually look at this and show the map, I mean, we're not even seeing any precincts reporting anything yet. So they're getting votes. Okay, so yeah. Oh, that makes a lot more sense. See, I bet there's like 5 other people that are watching this right that are streaming this right now. and they kind of realize that. And it takes me like 20 fucking minutes to realize it.
Yeah, Red Eagle is streaming right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
How many viewers does he have? Ah, Real American actually subbed.
A lot. Check. Uh, 900. Wow.
Okay. Come on, why are they not updating? Damn it!
Get a random fact because I'm looking through the 2016 election results. Random reasons. Bernie Sanders got about 5% of the vote in Vermont because of a write-in movement.
Click on the name of the election and at the top left, click vote types. Okay, so I don't think I am signed in. So House, rights, exit, Texas. We are looking at New York Times, US. No, on a Tarrant County website. Okay. Turnout is abysmal right now. Apparently only, well, it says there's only 100,000 people have voted right now in Tarrant County. And there's 1 million
The total
registered voters.
population. 8%.
So he said, click on the name of the election and at the top right. So my favorites. Click on a name. So only 100,000 ballots have been cast. Top left. I'm kind of retarded. So make sure you account for that. Oh, vote types. Okay, I'm stupid. Okay, so we're looking. So yeah, no election day votes have been counted yet. 5,482 absentee ballots have been counted, and 32,000 people have voted early. But no election day votes have been counted thus far.
Wow.
Wow, that's so we should be able to get these results, I mean, later on. But let's look. Okay, so we have a breakdown actually. So Matty Parker is 10,000 early votes and 2,000 absentee votes. But Jesus Christ, I mean, Deborah Peoples is, I mean, 11,245 early votes and nearly 2,000 absentee votes. Gee, wow. Well, actually, okay, so Matty Parker is actually ahead in the absentee vote.
Interesting.
I've been streaming for an hour and a half. Jesus Christ. I
Whoa.
really need to eat something.
Yeah, I do as well. Ignoring health for the sake of politics.
Huh?
Ignoring health for the sake of politics.
Yeah, basically. Wait, no! I hate ordering on apps. Thoughts on Hearts of Iron or Hearts of Iron 4. Sorry, I'm stupid. Good game. PG, are you excited for the People's Republic of Fort Worth? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Deborah Peoples is going to be the next mayor of Fort Worth. Speaking of, I need to check on my election. Based EWA. EWA, you're apparently based.
Great. Nice to know.
Someone needs to tell Red Eagle that the Fort Worth sleeper election is this one that we're looking at. I'm probably like the only one that knows what the hell is going on right now. So still no update. Come on, update. I want to update. I need to shut up, but
Dang, they're counting slower than Nevada did.
oh yeah, freaking don't even remind me about how slow Nevada was.
Best part was that it wasn't even close. It was 2% for Biden. They counted slower than Georgia, and Georgia, of course, has Atlanta. I don't know which place had more mail-in voting, but it was insane.
God, that was ugh. Don't even remind me.
Yeah, the worst part was when I think AP called Arizona for Joe Biden, so he was 6 away from 270, and Nevada was essentially if they just counted their votes fast enough, they would have called it, but they didn't. For the entire day, me and everyone I knew were just checking the results constantly, to see what happened, and then
I stayed up
it
until
was
like
called. Yeah,
4 in the morning. Um, like waiting for the election to be called, but like no, actually I stayed up until Wisconsin Milwaukee County came in, and whenever that shift happened, that one moment they always talked about where like the election was like in Wisconsin where all those ballots got dumped at once in the
oh yeah,
results. I watched that happen live, and they had been saying for like 2 hours beforehand, like it's gonna skew Democratic. It's gonna skew Democratic. It's gonna skew Democratic. And I watched the election results on CNN like all the way up um until those results came in, and I was just like, oh, like whenever those results hit and Wisconsin like shifted to Biden, my heart sank. Like it was like, oh, okay, okay,
yeah,
this isn't gonna go the way I want it to. So I kind of like I just stopped after that, went to sleep finally, and then I woke up and I was just like, yep, nope, that wasn't a dream.
yeah.
But I'm not sitting there, in the
Got
street just like screaming at the top of my lungs, no, like man, I am
yeah.
colorful. I am colorful tonight, aren't I?
Yeah, bro, it's because every poll worker is like 100 years old.
I know. I was gonna say that. Ironically, whenever I went to go vote, didn't see a single young person working at the poll, and I've signed up to work for them. I've signed up, and I mean, I guess they just don't want anyone that's less than 50 years old to work there. So,
Huh.
um,
I want to do it someday. I didn't do it in 2020, but maybe one day.
are you old enough to vote?
Well, you can probably guess with the way I sound. So
I don't assume.
yeah, I'm not. And I'd like to. So
Okay,
I'm like the one guy in my school who just is only like he just knows everything. I don't know, like everyone who just definitely just extremely skewed to one side whenever they refer to politics, just who they prefer, and then just me who's actually trying to analyze everything. I was telling everyone beforehand there's probably gonna be a red mirage, and it's gonna look like Donald Trump's gonna win in a landslide, and then Biden's gonna come back.
yeah. We got more results out of Fort Worth,
Oh,
and we
good.
finally have a map. Fort Worth. Oh, ouch. Wow. This is good news for the progressives. Look at
Hmm.
this. So we finally got election day coming in. We finally see that so there's 32,000 early votes, 5,400 absentee votes, and we got 6,000, nearly 6,000 election day votes, and Peoples actually expanded her lead.
Wow.
Deborah Peoples Deborah Peoples is going to pull this off. I really think I've
Is
really
just plurality in a Fort Worth mayoral race? Is it, or
I
is
th-
it gonna go to a runoff?
I it could go to a runoff, but I think it's going to have to be a plurality. If People's win, I'll make a cringy joke. You might as well say it now because I may have to make an analysis video about this. I am concentrating way too much on this to not. By the way, I survived these streams by drinking, so the further along the night goes, the more drunk I get. Why are you not drinking with me? I need to start drinking. Um oh wow. And now I feel bad. Am I contributing to your it's plurality, which means no runoff? Okay. So yeah, it should wow.
Thing.
The ant knows more about my local elections than I do. Okay, so we got 114,000 votes so far. That's a 9.8% turnout rate.
Updated.
People's
Update
pe-
Texas 6.
did they?
Focus is saying that in the chat.
They did not. Wow, I mean,
Got me excited
we're
there.
gonna know the results of the Fort Worth mayoral election before we know the results of Texas 6th.
Just so sad, but so true.
Wow, this is okay. So I'm gonna have to change the title of this because this is literally just like me focusing on the Fort Worth mayoral.
Yeah. That's honestly more. I think that's honestly more interesting than the
Yeah, this is a lot more
Texas 6.
interesting than I mean, yeah, this is this is way more interesting than Texas 6 right now.
Yeah.
Where's the mayoral now? Carly, you're gonna be disappointed. Rachel, we are focusing on the city of Fort Worth mayoral election. We just got some more results in. Let me update this again just in case they update it again. But we are focusing on the office of mayor of the city of Fort Worth. City of Fort Worth is having a mayoral election. We have a progressive that is running in this election. So they have a lady that is in there right now, 5-term Republican mayor of Fort Worth, Betsy Price. I think it was their name. Probably getting it wrong. But we have
Is
a
it?
progressive that is winning the plurality right now with 35.8% of the vote. And that is over Maddie Parker, who's getting about 31% of the vote. So it's about 15,000 votes to 13,000 votes. This is a lot different than a lot of people were probably expecting. Now, there's no
Yeah.
election prediction. This is a nonpartisan election that we're looking at right here. So it's gonna be a tight one. I mean, we're within 5 points in this election. We haven't even seen one voting center report its results yet, so they're still counting the vote. So I might be getting a little too excited here by seeing how well Deborah Peoples is performing.
Yeah.
But
PG, I gotta go for maybe 15, 20 minutes. I'm not gonna leave you alone here.
okay,
I'll try to hop back on if I can.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I gotta go
carry
eat as
from
well.
here.
So best of luck, and hopefully I will return.
Okay. I'll still be here, so just call back or try to message me or something like that.
Of course. Okay.
Okay. Looks like it is just me for right now. So if anyone wants to join in, make sure to join Discord and we can have a discussion together. The current mayor is destroying the other guy with 70%. Oof. Bam. What city are you from, Steelies? Steeliesasaurus? PG would like to hear the cringy joke. Yes, I would. Still trying to order me some food. McKinney. Okay. Interesting. McKinney. I think I could actually pull up their election results. Collin County election results. You could actually look at Collin County. People's Republic of Fort Worth. You've already made that joke. Come on. I've been praying for Maddie. I hope a miracle happens. I'm quite tired of seeing folks I support lose. I support that. Unfortunately, Carly, I think we're going to be looking at a progressive Fort Worth. But the thing about it is, and I'm actually not paying that much attention to the city council, but are the people that are winning in the city council, are they progressive? That's going to be the thing. We can elect a mayor, a progressive mayor of Fort Worth, but are we going to be able to elect a progressive city council? And is she going to be able to work with the city council? Possibly, because I mean, this looks to be like a county-wide race. Actually, no. I mean, this is actually Fort Worth city boundary right here. So a lot of this white that you're seeing right here, that should be like areas that you probably will not be seeing election results coming out of. Like right here, right around here, this is White Settlement. Yes, that is the city's name. It is called White Settlement. Talking about Watuga, North Richland Hills, Haltom City is actually right here. What is this? So Patago, Arlington, Six Flags over Texas. Taryn is 94% reporting. Really? Oh yeah, they are. Actually, it says 58, 57%. Deborah Peoples still pulling ahead. Deborah Peoples might actually win this. How is she winning? There's going to be more early votes casted than election day. So 100 voting centers have reported their results. 114,000 people have voted. 1.1 million have been registered. That's going to be pretty low turnout. Oh, they're 94% in at Texas 6th. They updated it 5 minutes ago. Yeah, we're going to a runoff. Oh, hey, okay, so Susan Wright is actually ahead now. The Ant, thank you so much, Ant, for donating. I absolutely appreciate that. But yeah, we got more results out of Texas 6th. 8,257 votes, 16.2% of the vote. It's going to Susan Wright. Looks like Susan Wright and Jake Elzy will be going to runoff. That doesn't stop us. We're going to be continuing to watch the Fort Worth mayoral election for as long as we can, as long as I can order food. Can 2 Republicans go to the runoff? Yes, they can. Um, if you've ever actually seen like a California election, usually sometimes those go to runoffs, and the runoffs are usually between Democrats. I mean, the last, I think in 2018, yeah, 2018, the last election that happened and that I can take note of was the California. I can't remember the class, but it was Dianne Feinstein that was running, and Dianne Feinstein ran in her election, but it was against the Democrat. It was 2 Democrats running against each other in a uh what do you call it, a federal Senate election. Tarrant County has more than 45% more to report for Texas 6, so the Democrats should still slip in, possibly. Yeah, there's only 287 votes that are separating the two in what do you call it, in that vote. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the breakdown real quick. Susan Wright is actually like 300 votes, 300 votes from pulling ahead of Jana in Tarrant County. Not many people. Is this really going to be a very low turnout election? See, that's one of the things, is that turnout was a big thing about this election. Turnout was going to be like, um if turnout was a big thing about this, because there's going to be like a lot of people that were probably not going to turn out for this, because it was a hang on. So let me look. Texas 6th election results. So let's look at what it was in the previous election. Ron Wright was re-elected in 2020. Texas 6th. 55,000 people voted in the election. It was uncontested. Ron Wright was not challenged by anyone. He got 100% of the vote in 2020. 55,759 people voted for Ron Wright. So we're around that turnout. So turnout could be a little bit higher in this election. Active shooter in Wisconsin, over 10 shot. Wow. Okay, so yeah, actually, Styles, thanks for reminding me to check on that McKinney election. So we're going to be looking election results in Collin County. For all election conducted by this office, so accumulated totals. They put their freaking results on a PDF. Are you kidding me? Frisco, Levine, Lucas, McKinney. Here we are. City Council at large and McKinney. 62 for Charlie Phillips and 37 for Brian Magazine. So I think I'm past Mayor. Mayor McKinney. Wow, George Fuller is pulling ahead of Tom Meredith and McKinney. 12,143 votes to 4,928 votes in McKinney. Very interesting. Very interesting results in McKinney. America First, welcome back. Welcome back. If you guys are not, if you guys have been watching this, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you guys want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any more content like this. I will be doing more election coverage. I like to do election coverage like this. This is actually one of the best election coverage videos that I've made. Let's go ahead and refresh this for Fort Worth Mayor. Also need to be checking on my election results. We're going to be looking at vote types. Still 6,000 votes. See voting centers reporting. So these are the voting centers. You guys probably don't even know. Probably a lot of you don't even live here. If there's any Fort Worth people that are in the audience, let it be known. You voted. Who do you vote for? The Ant, welcome to the Centurion role. Thank you so much for becoming a member. If you guys want to support this channel, go ahead and become a member. Always appreciating whenever we get new members. So I appreciate the Ant for becoming a member today. Me mistake. What exactly is a runoff? A runoff election is only the top 2 people can be voted for. Runoff election is basically whenever you have an election like in the Texas 6th election, you have so many people running. I mean, again, we have like, look at this, 23 people running in this election. So whenever this happens, it has to go to a runoff because you're very likely. I mean, we haven't even seen a point here where we've seen someone get over 20% of the vote. So yeah, it's a big thing. So whenever it goes to a runoff, basically if Susan Wright and Jake Elzy continue to make the amount of votes that they're making, and then Jake Elzy is able to fend off the amount of votes that Jaina is getting, then that's what happens whenever it goes to a runoff. So the top 2 contenders are the ones that make the ballot in the runoff election. Looking like the runoff will be between 2 Republicans, possibly. Last time I was elected 2 minutes ago. Susan Wright is still doing number 2 in Tarrant County. Not really, if you were watching Tarrant County, yeah. See voting centers. So let's refresh. And I need to be looking at my election results. How do I get out? See voting centers. No, I don't want to see the voting centers. Oh, this is the favorite races. Deborah Peoples, 35.8. So we're still going to be watching a lot of support for Peoples coming out of central and southern Fort Worth. What do we got? Steve or Maddie seems to be doing pretty good and about north. So what are we looking at in terms of cities? So who's voting for who? Avondale, Harlot, Blue Mound, Saginaw. We got the Fort Worth Airport, Lakeside. So a lot of the support for Peoples is coming from Ryanwood, Handley, Woodhaven, Scenic Bluff, Fort Worth Heights, downtown Fort Worth, actually. The Botanical Garden apparently even voted for her. Who is the Brown? That is... Wait. That's Peoples. Who's this? Completely reported. Is that? So there's brown and then there's like dark brown. I don't know who the hell the brown is. So there's a summary, precinct level details for election results. See by choice. All right, so what I'm going to be doing real quick is ordering food because I have been saying that I'm going to order food for the past, like, I don't know how long, and I have not, so maybe I could go for another hour. Um, I think we'll basically know. And I'll probably be making updates on my community tab, so make sure you watch that. DSA's cringe. Actual socialists know it. I know, admit it. Politics, gaming, and neocon. No. I mean, depends on your. Neocon. No, actually, no. I know for sure that I am not a neocon. I am a right wing. If you're talking about like specifically, I identify as a right wing populist. You're literally a fascist. I know, right? Great. Finally. I'm gonna finally get me some food. And it is now on its way. So I should probably get it around a time that I may start closing this live stream up. Maybe. Oh, they deliver it through Postmates. I'm gonna have to download Postmates. Who here delivers? So yeah, NBC is way behind on the voting right now. That's kind of funny. So I'm gonna close out of that because I'm not using that anymore. DoorDash is what I use. Ah. So let me see what the progressive is actually doing in my race. Actually, results. Let me actually go down to my city. I need to save it. Plano is also apparently having an election. Roanoke. Shady Shores. a lot of different areas around here. That's a weird part about North Texas. Is like every time you step out of your house, you're in a different city. Aha, here it is. Okay, so, oh boy. "17 likes and 13 people watching. I appreciate that we actually have more than uh 10 people watching us at one time. I appreciate the consistency. Any more results? No, not really. 4 minutes ago. If you actually want to read about it, I can link you to the loaded Wikipedia page if you're not about to. Oh, I think you're having a different conversation. That's the fun part about watching elections. It's literally just like this. You know, sometimes, especially whenever you have people, I have someone on here for a little bit and they um gonna leave, and then so it's this is just so I apologize for the silence. I'm more of just kind of like concentrating on covering, seeing if there's any changes. NBC doesn't want to freaking report, so that's funny. Uh, 908. So apparently, final finishing position. So supposedly, PPUSA. Who's PPUSA? There's a small area. It's a polling thing on Twitter. Supposedly, apparently, to them, they're saying that it's going to be between Susan Wright and Jake Ellzey. So it's going to be two Republicans that are going to be advancing to the runoffs. So that's gonna be interesting if they're correct, which they very likely are going to be correct. That's still abysmal turnout though. 9% in Fort Worth after everything that's happened, and it's 9%. If the Republicans seriously were just like, you know, we're gonna turn out during this election, but then we're not gonna turn out in this mayoral election, like, come on. You're just asking for it then. Yeah, that's weird. For some reason my order was just like um my order was just like, oh well, yeah, we're gonna like take your money, but then it's like one of those things where the system kind of bugs out, and I was just like, oh, did we get your order? No, we didn't. Okay, hate that. All right. Again, it's just more of just the waiting game. Oh, come on. For those in chat, let's keep it civil. If you guys are gonna have that conversation about you know what, um, just let's keep it civil. I hate one of these things. Just like, oh, I'm gonna actually Susan Red is improving. She's at 17% now. Hey, what's going on, AP? Welcome to the live stream. I can join back if you want. Sure, let's go ahead and get EWA back in chat. Hello. Stop ringing and stop ringing.
There we go.
Hey, what's going on? So while I have you in here, I'm gonna go ahead and step away real quick. But I'll be back 2 seconds.
Great. So, what's up, chat? What's good, everyone? Gomez?
Hey, what's up?
Not much, I guess.
Are you guys live?
Say? I'm talking over you, sorry.
Can you hear this dude? I can't hear him.
I'm back.
What's going on? I'm so confused.
All right, I'm back.
Hello.
Tell Gomez I disagree with them. Apparently, someone disagrees with you, Gomez.
Dang, that's crazy.
So I think probably the main reason why it's going to go to run up between two Republicans at this point is that Janice Sanchez did not get nearly enough support that she needed in Tarrant County.
Who?
Sanchez, the top Democrat, only won Tarrant by 0.6%, which probably cost her a spot in the runoff.
Yeah, I mean, apparently Susan Wright, I mean, Tarrant County basically saved Susan Wright here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's an inside joke, PG. I know.
I was not expecting it to be two Republicans.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that was a little bit of a good surprise tonight.
Yeah. I guess I was half expecting it. Like right before the stream, I was reading this political article that mentioned that I think some Democratic polling firm was passing around a memo that there was a possibility that this could happen. So, I wasn't quite expecting it. I'm not gonna say that I did just to look cool, but
Yeah, I definitely expected it. Like,
totally
oh, actually, we got some more votes coming out of Fort Worth.
nice. NBC has not updated the Fort Worth vote tallies in I think several hours.
So Maddie Parker's still like he's not doing too well, but I think Deborah People, she kind of closed the gap. Someone closed the gap on her. So we got, all right, so we're getting a lot of early of election day vote coming in now for Fort Worth. So we Yeah, I mean we should be able to see the election day vote kind of come in, so that's gonna be, I don't know. Let's see. So she got 11,000. Let me actually do a bar. Oh, here it is. So we're looking at Deborah Peoples 1,889 absentee votes for Deborah Peoples, 11,245 uh, votes early, 7,139 election day votes. Then we go over to Maddie Parker, 5,700 exactly election day votes, 10,131 early votes, and 2,021 absentee votes. So it looks like Maddie Parker's actually doing worse in election day voting right now.
Yeah, I was thinking that Maddie Parker could definitely catch up in election day voting, but it looks like that isn't happening.
He's still outperforming Peoples in the absentee vote.
Yeah.
So we got, so turnout's now at 147,000. It's 12.6% turnout.
Ooh. That's that's not great.
We have 287 views on this channel, on this video. Maddie Parker is a woman, PG. Fuck. Okay, it's a she. Maddie Parker is a she. I apologize if Maddie Parker is watching this.
That'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah. Deborah Peoples is watching Politics Gaming. Sure.
Yeah. I wonder who's actually reporting about the mayoral race. Definitely a word I can't pronounce alongside gubernatorial.
Guess that arrangement works for you then. Yeah, it does. Or are you
Okay,
talking to someone else? There's actually a candidate that's running in my local election, and actually, a member of my family actually knows. They're running for school board, and they're actually gonna win.
Oh,
Politics Gaming can project that that man is gonna win. I won't say who it is,
yeah.
but I basically know someone that's running for a local school board, and I actually voted for him. So, but looks like he's gonna win his election, pretty good margin.
Yeah, once one of my childhood friends' mom won a race for judge in my area, I guess I would say. That was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, I technically know a judge, like that's the best.
So 58,000. Deborah Peoples, 34.58% of the votes. Still, that is as of 9:15. So that was 15 minutes ago that was updated. Maybe they're updating it every 15 minutes. Maybe. No.
Well, the House race was updated, and Suzanne Wright has expanded her lead.
Oh wow.
18.4%,
Damn.
while
Oh,
Dana Sanchez is actually only 0.7% away from taking a spot in the runoff.
Susan Wright took the lead in Tarrant County.
My God. Be second to register that for some reason. I was just looking at it. I'm like, wait, why is that red?
I looked at it and I immediately kind of clicked. I was like, she took the lead in Tarrant.
Yeah, the end. So how does Tarrant County vote for Peoples? But then the Republican candidate has more votes than the Dem. That's true.
That is interesting. That is
Yeah.
interesting. And
I
Republicans
guess Susan Wright just.
Huh?
I guess Susan Wright just really won the white suburban voters.
I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to look at some of the analysis for this because that's gonna.
Wow.
Like that's interesting that they're voting for a progressive for mayor, but then like half of the city is. Well, the thing about it is that it's Tarrant because Fort Worth. I think the area that is in, there's a barely. So let's look. So, if you actually look, barely any of this encompasses Fort Worth. Yeah. So most of that is Arlington. This, I mean, you could see a little bit of it trickling into Fort Worth, but most of that is Arlington.
Don't have that same urban base that would vote for a Democrat over the Democratic strongholds. They wouldn't have those voters that would vote for Peoples, and then in theory would vote for Sanchez. So I guess that's probably why. I'd assume. Well,
it says
okay. It says at the
DC
bottom.
running.
DC perspective. Well,
DC perspective is running. DC, where are you?
Changed his name, kept the initials, and is running for mayor of Fort Worth.
Crew Dragon is landing in 20 minutes. Wow, there's a lot of things happening tonight, ain't there?
Yeah. Dang, this is a house race and a mayoral race. I'm never gonna be able to pronounce mayoral on the first try. They have both of those happening tonight, and then I'm trying to imagine how be going live on like midterms would be.
Departure burns complete. 17 minutes ago, 4 hours. So they're landing tonight. That's literally me reading the chat from Red Eagles live stream, so but that's crazy. That is interesting. That freaking it also kind of just really depends. I mean, there's 55,000 votes sent Ron Wright to Congress. How many votes are we looking at right now? 70,000 votes in this election total. That's already in what?
The New York Times is 100% out of Tarrant for the House race. At the bottom. Yeah, there it is. Below the map.
Oh, reporting. Oh, it says it. Yeah, it does. I'm stupid.
Well, then I guess that unless LZ just doesn't get any gains from the remaining, well, Navarro has the most left. There's Ellis. There isn't much hospitable ground for Sanchez. Oh, they projected it. Scroll up.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. Zen right. Well, that makes sense. That's no big surprise.
So it's
kind of like the Georgia
runoff,
runoffs,
right?
in a sense. Yeah. The Georgia runoff since what's the word? We all knew like Raphael Warnock was going to get a spot in it. It was a battle for second place, and that's what mattered.
That's all right. So it looks like Susan Wright has won her congressional. Well, it hasn't won. It will be advancing to a runoff on May 24th. I will try to cover that election when it happens. Depending on it, I mean, if we're looking at, I mean, unless we know Susan Wright is going to win, I mean, basically going off of, uh, basically going off of, what was that one election? Letlow in Louisiana 2nd or Louisiana 4. I mean, if we're looking at like the widow of the guy that ran or someone else, I'm pretty sure the widow is gonna win. So I mean, this is basically looking at it like I'm pretty much certain she's probably gonna take this home in on the 24th. Now does the Dem PG you got rid of DC? Oh my god. Yeah, DC's not advancing to the runoff. Oh wait, no, that's Fort Worth. Never mind. So let's look at Fort Worth. $58,000 people have voted. 100 voting centers have closed. I'm gonna step away real quick. Looks like my food has arrived, so I will step away real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. But I think I could wrap this up here. I mean, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Um, I'm gonna make an analysis video for those who are watching right now. I'm gonna make an analysis video about the Fort Worth mayoral election and what it can mean for the future. Um, but since this special election has finally come to a close, we already know who's gonna be going to the next round. So I think they're waiting to see who's gonna because they actually changed again. Like Bounty and made 2 points. But since they already know that Susan Wright is going to go to the runoff, we're very likely to see either Jake LZ or maybe on a thin hair edge, Jana Lynn Sanchez is going to go to the runoff. But since we already know that this election is going to go to a runoff, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Just got some food, so I'm going to go ahead and eat since I need to be healthy and eat and do something with myself. But 300 people watched this. I mean, this was a pretty successful election coverage live stream. We got a member, Ant. Thank you so much for donating and becoming a member of this live stream. So yeah. Election watch. Are you still there? No? Guess not. But yeah, for those who are watching right now, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you guys want to see more content like this, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss anything on this channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. I'll try, if depending on what really happens, I may or may not stream the election on the 24th. So just we'll see what happens there. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I will make a video in the next few days on the Fort Worth mayoral election. And I'll see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.